EPAWA meteorologist Bobby Martin here with your outlook for November 4th, 2019. I'm going to talk in a lot of absolutes in this video, and then some things that aren't very certain that we're going to discuss in this video as well, talking about the week ahead. Today is one of those certain days. We have a mostly sunny day, a couple degrees warmer than what we saw yesterday, a little bit milder, and that's because we have a southerly flow coming in today, and that's going to be ahead of this system here, which is a cold front that'll come through here on Tuesday. This cold front will actually lower temperatures behind it, and but back down to kind of what we just dealt with over the weekend. So it's not going to be brutally cold just yet. That's coming, okay? So as we go through the day here on Monday, again, partly cloudy, or excuse me, mostly sunny today, partly cloudy overnight, and then we have partly to mostly cloudy skies here on Tuesday with an isolated shower chance. There's not many areas are going to get into this, but a few areas could get into a shower or two with this frontal boundary moving through, and that's during the day here on Tuesday. And then that goes away, and then overnight we turn partly cloudy to mostly clear, and we're mostly sunny here on Wednesday. So that's pretty much the definites of this forecast. There's one other definite after our uncertain period here, which is our potential for wintry weather. That's right, wintry weather is a possibility later this week, but it's going to come down to timing, and it's very critical. Timing here. It's one of those thread the needle type things. One of my favorites. High pressure control here on Wednesday. And then we have this system up here and another one down here. These two of these are going to have to get together. This one's the cold front on the lead of a Arctic air mass. And for all intents and purposes, I know it's only early November, but that this was January, it would be an absolutely brutal air mass coming into this region. But we're going to get into that at the end of this week with this cold air. Now, it's just a matter of timing the cold air with this. As this front moves down to the south, at the same time, you're going to have this system down here over the Tennessee Valley forming an area of low pressure along that frontal boundary. So it's a matter of timing. How quickly does this cold air get in here, and does this low form along this boundary, and how quickly does it do so? Okay, so there's a lot of questions here involved. And some of the models, like this I'm showing you, is the European model, which, by the way, we're not allowed to show in these videos without having any issues or any copyright issues or anything with the European model that has become freely available now. So you'll see a lot more of that in social media going forward. But here is looking at Thursday morning. We're still dry, just an increase in clouds here. And then it looks like showers for most coming in later in the day. This is rain showers we're talking about, as low pressure is going to form along this boundary. And then when we get into the overnight hours, it looks like, at least from the European model standpoint, the cold air is going to start crashing in from northwest to southeast. And this cold air is expected to be coming in and changing any rain over to snow from northwest to southeast, because we have this low pressure moving about that boundary out in this direction like this. And so this is interacting with the boundary, and it's giving you some overrunning precipitation basically along that boundary and enhancing the precipitation along it. So what it does is it turns rain to snow, first just mixing with snow and then changing to snow in some areas as it moves along that boundary and moves off the coast eventually here by Friday morning. Early snow shower giving way to partly cloudy skies here on Friday. Let's take a look at this on the precipitation type maps. As you can see, this is a little bit better. This is showing the rain coming in here during the late afternoon or early evening here on Thursday. It does show some light blue up here to the north, which would indicate snow showers. And as you move through, here's 8 p.m. Look at that. North central Pennsylvania, northeast PA are in light snow. Now, this is not a heavy event regardless. If this does end up happening this way, this will be a generally lighter event, but it's still rain here in our central areas down to I-78 and points south and east. And as we progress through the evening, that line starts to move down to the south and east here. So by the time we get to 2 o'clock in the morning on Friday, it's showing the I-78 corridor now turned over to snow. Now, how much is accumulating here? Probably not a whole lot, because you're going to have wet roads. You had warm temperatures prior. You might get some very slushy coatings to an inch or so right along I-78 if this scenario played out, and maybe a couple inches up here, maybe 1, 2, 3, 4 inches of snow. Okay, and this is not an impossible thing. And we go into, this is now looking at, actually time changed here. So this is now 4 o'clock in the morning here on Friday, and moving a little bit further into the early morning hours on Friday. This is now 8 a.m. and you can still see some snow showers hanging around before we turn partly cloudy in the afternoon. So that's the European model. GFS, though, is not interested in this idea. It has the cold front moving through here, and you have just a few light, maybe rain showers to the south, maybe a snow shower far north. But this energy that would be responsible for moving along the frontal boundary is way back here and is not going to catch up to this in time. And so they stay separate. And then you see the system just heading off the southeastern U.S. coastline. No harm, no foul. So there's a little bit of a discrepancy between the two. So right now we just need to see some kind of consistency between the two. And we look at the ensembles, which are each model has its own ensembles that run an additional 20 to 50 times. There's really not a lot of agreement there. They're kind of split whether or not they agree with the idea that there's going to be snow in our region or not. So we don't want to jump the gun on this just yet. But at the same time, it needs to be put out there for awareness. So if you look at our local forecast, it'll say we'll keep low chances for precipitation on both days, both Thursday and early Friday morning, and of course Thursday night. But we're not committing to very high percentages yet because there's a lot of uncertainty involved with this. But we do have increasing clouds, PM showers, rain-snow mix at night, maybe ending in snow later at night or Friday morning for our central areas. I do think further south and east, you're probably a little bit too warm yet, a little bit too early in the season to get it all the way down to there. But we will continue to watch that very closely. And then, once the system exits, we have some of the coldest air of the season coming in for the latter part of the week here for Friday and Saturday, and that is unanimous across all models. So this is another one of those absolutes I was talking about. We do know that there's going to be some very cold air coming in here where the temperature's not getting out of the 40s, certainly, but in some areas not getting out of the 30s. Not out of the 30s on Friday and Saturday. So very cold temperatures for this time of year, especially in our northern areas. We won't get out of the 30s, kind of near 40 in our central areas, maybe lower 40s south and east. By Philadelphia, might not get out of the lower 40s here on both Friday and Saturday. And then on Sunday, once this system passes, we're going to get, or once the trough starts to lift out, and ahead of a next reinforcing front that's going to come in here, it looks like Sunday night or next Monday, we're going to have a slight warm-up by about 7 or 8 degrees from Saturday to Sunday. So not a big warm-up, but a little bit as winds turn southwesterly ahead of the next front. So maybe upper 40s to near 50 for highs here on Sunday, but it still does look like it's going to be dry at this point. So we're going to follow this system here very closely, which is this system right here, whether or not it develops. Again, there's a couple of questions there. We're questioning the timing, how fast the cold air can get in here, whether or not that low pressure forms along that boundary and enhances the precipitation along it while the cold air is there, and how quickly it does so. There's a lot of questions here, so a lot of timing issues, and it's a perfect thread-the-needle situation. But on either case, even if this does come to fruition, we're not talking about a ton of snow here, but it could be a wintry start, or at least maybe seeing some snowflakes for the first time in some areas on Thursday night. I'm EPAWA meteorologist Bobby Martins. That is your outlook for November 4th, 2019. Have a great Monday.